Welcome back to the show. I am so happy that you are all here. Awesome, awesome, awesome to be together today with our live audience. Hello. And if you're here in our live audience today for today's episode, please feel free to say hello in the chat. If you're watching and streaming on social, we're so happy that you're here. And you can say hi in the comments, and we're going to have an amazing episode today. So I've been looking forward to being with you all, because today we are kicking off a brand new series on visibility. Okay. So if we were together in a big room, we'd say, woo, like who's excited, right? We're kicking off a brand new series on visibility. And today, what I'm going to introduce is the concept of your VQ. All right, VQ, your visibility quotient. If you've heard about having an IQ test ever, or you have heard about emotional intelligence, your EQ, maybe you've trained in the positivity work out of Stanford, which is PQ, right? So we have all these Qs, all these quotients, and what we're going to be working on in this series, what I'm going to be bringing to you and sharing with you are strategies, the context, and hopefully the inspiration and empowerment to continually be raising your visibility quotient, which we are going to call your VQ. Now, I made this up. It's not something you like look up yet online aside from this show and the work we're going to be doing over the next few months around this. But the reason that I have spent time diving into and creating a body of work around our VQ, around our visibility quotient, is because I believe that right now, this year, your VQ will be the most determining factor in your impact and your financial success. That sounds like a big, kind of bold statement, right? But I really do believe it's true. And that's why we're doing this series. And that's why I'm going to be bringing you strategy and content and thought leadership on this. And I am going to train our clients, those of you in Thought Leader Academy, and our programs live on this at the end of the month. So July 29th, 30th, and 31st. And I'm actually going to gift everybody who is tuning into the show a free ticket to that training if you would like to raise your visibility quotient. So registration is going to open on Wednesday. Check your email for an invitation, or put in the comments, whether you're on social or on, if you're watching us on YouTube, Instagram, wherever you're watching this, or here in the Zoom room, you can put the word visible, and we'll make sure that you get the invite for your free ticket to that training. So save the date, July 29, 30, and 31st. Because there is more to do than we can even accomplish in the show format. There's more interactive work that I want to make sure that everyone has access to. And I'm really excited. This is my current obsession because, as I said, if you're just joining in, your visibility quotient, your VQ, is going to determine what happens in the rest of this year and beyond. It's going to determine how much income you bring in, how many lives you impact, even ultimately your legacy in the world. Now, why? What we're going to spend time on in today's episode is we're going to spend time on why is that so? Why is it why could that, even if you decide if you believe it's true or not, why is visibility so crucially important? Well, I think we probably all have had the experience of putting ourselves, our work in the world, getting a calling, taking action on that calling, developing your modality, your methodology, the craft of what you do in the world, whether you are, again, in the health space, the relationship space, financial space, you're writing fiction, it doesn't matter what your actual craft is. But the problem with us focusing all on the what, the craft, the gift, and our gifts that we have to bring with the world, is that we usually do not have a way already built in just from doing the craft for as many people as need the transformation that you provide to find it, to whether it's to find your book, to find your work, to find your program, your course, your coaching, whatever it is that you do. Can I get an amen or a yes if that resonates with you? Okay. Do you believe that you have reached everyone that you're meant to reach so far? Like, have you impacted everyone that you're here to influence through and impact and serve through your writing, your speaking, your modality? No, there's no way. There's no way that we've reached everyone. No way that we have, because those of you that are listening to this, watching this, you know that you have a big calling, right? You know that you're here to make a big change on this planet and on individuals. Some of us in a very, sort of niched place, some of us in, a more broad-based type. It doesn't matter, right? There's so many misconceptions that we're going to pull apart in this series about what visibility is and what it isn't. What does it mean to go viral? All right, the way I'm going to teach you in the masterclass series at the end of the month is going to be a very different kind of going viral than what we see, called going viral in, TikTok dancing and that kind of stuff. I'm not going to ask anyone to dance or anyone to be on any particular platform to do this work, but we are going to raise our VQ, our visibility quotient, every single day a little bit more until we do ultimately make the impact we came here to make. Because I think when I do those exercises at the end of my life, kind of what was important, it's what did I contribute and what did I give? And there is no way that I can give everything I came here to contribute, and I can't serve at the maximum capacity that I was designed to serve if the people I'm here to serve don't know about me. And that is exactly the same thing for you. Okay. So your visibility quotient, your visibility intelligence is crucially important for the rest of this year and honestly, the rest of our lives. Okay. So we're going to dive into this and pull this apart from many different directions. On the next episode, I am going to talk about visibility resistance. So I just want to give you a little sneak preview. If you're listening to this going, oh, my stomach's clenching. I just want to do my craft. That's how I just want to write the books. I don't want to promote the books, market the books, have a social media. I was like, I'm a writer. I don't want to be making videos. Like, right? That's for actors. That's for whatever. Like, I'm a writer, right? So that's how it started out. But we're not in an era where you hiding in your cave is going to allow you to reach everybody you came here to reach. And the difference between where you are now and the maximum amount of people that you want to reach is your VQ. It's your visibility, right? Because the more people that can find what you are writing and speaking and filming and creating, the more lives that get changed and the more abundance that comes back to you. They go hand in hand, right? Income and impact, sort of a double helix. All right. So all we're going to explore today is the idea of that you do have a visibility quotient, and that I'm hoping that I impart to you some urgency and some excitement about expanding that, about raising your VQ in a really substantial way over these next few weeks as we go through this work. Okay. So if that resonates, put a V in the chat or on social, those of you wherever you're watching this episode, and let's hear who's in to really take this on and raise your visibility quotient and hopefully join us for the training. And again, I'm gifting it to everyone. Okay. No one has to spend any money on this because I want you to have it. I want you to have the tools and the strategies that are based on right now, not in 2 years ago or 1 year ago, or even 6 months ago, right now, based on research of what we need right now to be visible. Okay. I'm excited. We've got a group here. We're going to run together and do this. Okay. So what do we want to get this party started? What are we really going to do around our VQ? All right. So the first step is just understanding that, the visibility is important. It's important because no matter how awesome you are, if not enough people or the people you specifically are here to serve know about you, you can't make. It's the tree falling silent in the forest. Tree falling silent syndrome happens, right? So one thing you get to ask yourself even today is, have you been a tree falling silently in the forest? Some of you are absolutely working your VQ, right? You're not falling silently in the forest, but maybe you are feeling like you've grown from the acorn into a sapling, right? And it's time to rise into the oak tree that you were destined for, right? Visibility is one of the things that grows up the acorn into the oak tree. All right. Some other things to think about and we're going to get in. Okay. I'm going to absolutely I'm going to be sending you, I think, next episode that is about visibility resistance. And what I want to do is take away in this series, take away the entire paradigm of rejection as we've known it. Anyone ready to let that go? Anyone ready to let go of the whole idea because one of the reasons, which we'll get into, I'm just giving you some preview here, is we're afraid if I'm more visible, I put myself out there could be judgment, there could be rejection, there could be failure, there could be all these things. If anyone resonates, give me an amen. And these are the things that have kept me from being more visible. It's like, hell no, I don't want to put myself out there for that and find out, like no one even responds or all the things. Okay. So we're going to tackle that. We're going to tackle that as part of the series. But for today, the most important thing that I'm offering us is the idea that your VQ is crucially important now more than it ever has been before. And that we're going to work on this and raise it together through this series and through the training at the end of the month. All right. So what else do we need to say about your VQ? I want to give you the opportunity to start exploring your current VQ, right? We can't change where we are if we haven't gotten our coordinates of where we are, right? We will explore what I'm going to be calling your VV. This series has lots of acronyms, okay? We've got our VQ, your visibility intelligence, your visibility quotient, and you're going to have a VV, which is your visibility vision. And we're going to release your VR, which is your visibility resistance, right? Those blocks. And we're going to do all the V's. V's a fun letter, right? We can make a little peace sign. All right. So I'm hoping that you'll join me in just becoming obsessed with this right now, because it is going to make the difference in what happens, your destiny for the rest of the year and beyond. All right. Now, how do we find out our current visibility quotient? So I have a workbook that I'm preparing to go with this series. It will be done sometime in the next week. And I will also gift that to all of you who want to do the work alongside and get ready for our live training the 29th through the 31st, because that will really prep you to get the most out of it. So how do we start to find out our VQ? So one of the ways this is just before you get the workbook and you can write it all in there, think about what are the ways that you're currently visible. So this is all I want everybody to do for today, just to start getting aware of your current VQ. You want to take a minute to start brainstorming what are the places right now where people can find you? What are the places? So just to throw out some ideas, if you have an email list that you send emails to, that is going to be a part of your current VQ. If you have a social media account on any platform, each of those, if you've got LinkedIn and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, each of those is a place that you are currently visible. Now you might say, oh, I don't ever post. And we'll get into all that. We'll get into frequency and consistency and all the things. Right now, we've got to get our bearings for our current location, right? The GPS needs two items, right? The GPS needs to know our current location and where we're going, which is your VV, your visibility vision, right? We're going to build to that. So what we're doing at the beginning is getting clear on where we are now. So I want everybody to just take a minute here and just start to brainstorm. This is going to be your homework from today's episode, is to log everywhere that someone could currently either find out about you or see things that you're posting. If you have a blog, if you write articles for any particular publication, if you post in your own or someone else's newsletter, if you are, what are the other ways? I mean, you guys can shout some of these out, but the point is, they're all the different ways. Like if someone was going to find you and find out about you, what are the places where that could currently happen, right? If you are active in your community, physically in person, I know it's shocking to think life happens outside of the Zoomiverse, right? Yes, if you're on podcasts, you host your own or go on other people's podcasts. If you speak at events, if you have any affiliates or partnerships, if you do summit interviews, if you write, so you're just going to keep a log this week of all the places that you're currently visible. If you host things on Zoom, workshops or retreats, if you host in-person things. All right. For those of you overachievers in the group, I decided to take out the word overachiever and to say superachievers. For those super achievers of us, right? Yeah. If you're in spiritual communities, you're in a neighborhood group, you go to networking events, all of those are going to go into your current VQ. So if you want to be a super achiever this week, you want to supersize this, you'll start putting numbers also next to all the places where you're currently visible. So if you have 500 people on Facebook that follow you, you have 1,000 people on LinkedIn, you have 15 people on an email list, right? So in the roadmap that I'm going to give you, I'm calling a workbook roadmap, you will be able to enter these things in a really cute little chart. Okay. For now, I don't want to delay us in getting going on our VQ. All right. This is not to be judging ourselves. This is not to be sitting here saying, oh, I have such a small VQ and other people have a big. That's going to be part of the episode on visibility resistance, because that's a way we tell ourselves, what's the point, right? We talk ourselves out of even doing this work and getting clear. All we're doing in step one of raising your visibility quotient, your VQ, is getting clear on what your current visibility is without judgment. You're just observing. Where could people find out about me? Where do I show up? And I think it takes a couple days to remember all the places, because you're probably in certain ways more visible than you give yourself credit for. You know, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot that I do that community thing or that neighborhood thing or the whatever. Now, I do want to make a distinction between places you just show up and go versus places where people understand what you do. And those of you with high VR, visibility resistance, are not going to like this part, because you're going to want to count like the people at the grocery store that know our name. And yeah, are you visible as a human being, those places? Yes. Are you visible as a thought leader, an author, a expert? So only for this particular assessment, the only things that go on this list are the places where you are showing up that people understand what it is that you do. So it is not your personal Facebook page that you've never posted that you're a coach on, right? Yet. Now, here's the fun part. If you've got 1,500 friends on Facebook that have no idea what you do, you're about to get real visible to them this summer. Okay. You're going to real visible to them over the next month at what you do. You're going to come out. Some of us have talked about lots of different kinds of coming out. The thought leader coming out, is its own journey. All right. So only on this list that you're making this week are you going to put places where you are visible in the work that you're wanting to build, not just random, like people at my son's school. I'm not putting that on my list, even though I volunteer at things. They neither know or care likely what I do, right? But if I was brought in to do a workshop at the parent organization on, storytelling or writing a book, and I was, seen there as an expertise, like in my expertise as a thought leader, then that could go on. Okay. So are we clear on what the assignment is for this? This is the first step in our series on visibility, on your visibility quotient, your VQ. And we start building a bigger VQ when we are clear where we are already visible, because a couple things are going to come out of this. All right. One is that you get to give yourself credit for all the visibility you've already created. So when everyone let's pat ourselves on the back. If you're listening to this, watching this, like, yay, good job. I'm the only goofy one doing this on Phil, so don't worry about it. Okay. Yeah. You pat yourself on the back. Yay. If you're visible to one person, yay. Congratulations, right? It's also going to reveal potential opportunities, because the places you're already visible, you can 2 times, 3 times, and 10 times your visibility and your effectiveness and your visibility there. And it is also going to show us where we are not yet as visible as we want to be, and is going to give us clues as to where we have opportunity. Everywhere you're not already visible, or visible to the extent that you want to be visible, is now an opportunity for visibility. If it matches, which will be part of this series, where your ideal person is seeking answers and help and hanging out. It is not useful, as much as my son wishes, for me to employ his YouTube techniques for 13-year-old boys to my content. He thinks my content is not good. He wishes it looked like the content they like. But guess what? I am not coaching 13-year-old, youths. Right. And so that is not the place for me to, try to go in and do those particular strategies. Right. So this is what we're thinking about in step one. The first step in your visibility quotient is to understand how important visibility is. And then it is to start identifying where you're visible now. And if any of you get a gremlin this week, okay, that's what we call the inner critic here. If you get a gremlin that's saying, oh my gosh, this is pathetic, or, I'm just saying what my gremlin would say, right? Oh, look at this, or you're not on these platforms, or you have such small numbers, or any of that, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're just going to say, oh my gosh, thank you for being threatened because I'm about to become so freaking visible and powerful and of service. Thank you so much for chiming in. And now it's time for me to get clear on my numbers, right? Okay. Anywhere you're not already visible or visible to the amount you want is going to become part of your VV, your visibility vision, which we will be working on in this series. All right. So I want everybody to take a minute. I want you to take a minute and just feel into yourself. Are you ready to become powerfully and authentically virally visible? And if that answer is yes, then your action steps coming out of today's episode are to keep a log this week of everywhere you're visible in your expertise. You can add the places you're visible where people don't know what you do in a second list, because that's going to be your opportunity. But we want to find out your current VQ. Where are you visible now? And then if you want to put numbers to that, it's really helpful just to see how many people on an email list or on a certain social media platform or whatever it is. And then we're going to see anything that's not on there yet or isn't fully actualized as opportunity, right? You're going to start preloading that into your VV, your visibility vision. All right. So to recap what we did today, visibility could be the most important factor in what happens next with your income, your impact, and your legacy. I believe it is. That's why I'm obsessed with it. Number two, your current level of visibility that you're going to get this week from putting together, a list of all the places that you're currently visible is going to reveal your current VQ. This is not good, bad, right, wrong, better, worse. It's just where you are right now. Anywhere that you wish was different is going to be front loaded, and you can just start kind of preceding it into your VV, your visibility vision, which we will build during this series. All right. And then you're going to look for that registration link for our free ticket for you for the training on the 29th to the 31st, where we're going to do the work of the viral visibility roadmap. That's going to be your workbook that we will have ready for you in the next week or so. And you're going to have the series to go along with it. And then we're going to do that work live at the end of the month. Okay. So I'm really excited to do this with you and just get it started today in this space of you're just starting to explore your current VQ so that you can raise it a little bit or a lot more every day. Now, I want to share before we conclude today, why I've come to believe this is the most important thing, especially for this year. And maybe it feels obvious. It's like, yeah, duh, if more people know about me, then, like the more impact I'll make and the more, the more income, but that can still sound kind of big and general. And so I want us to drill it in and make it even more sort of tangible for us. And the way I'm thinking about this is I work with I have the gift, and many of you watching and listening to this episode are the people I'm speaking about. I have the gift of working with incredibly talented, incredibly brilliant, incredibly heart-centered, incredibly mission-driven, amazing, absolutely phenomenal thought leaders. I'm speaking to you guys, okay? That's who you are. And I would say if I had to look at what is most in the way, because I have the gift of coaching every single day, I'm coaching people in a group or one-on-one or however it's doing it, however we're facilitating that particular coaching. And if someone came to me and said, if you could wave a magic wand and change one thing for every one of these people today, what I would change is that 100 to 1,000 times more people would know about you and what you're doing. That's the one thing I would change, because you're already brilliant. You're already on your purpose. You would never be listening to this if this wasn't true for you. But what I don't think any of us have done is barely scratched the surface of the impact we came here to make and the income you came here to receive and that you deserve. And it is not going to happen unless this VQ grows. It's not going to happen. And I will tell you, the people that I've coached that have prioritized and been willing to walk through the fire of the VR, the visibility resistance, which we're going to walk through and burn off together. The people that have been willing to walk through that fire around all the fears that come up with being more visible, and they are cultural and they are ancestral and they are trauma related and they are everything, right? So this is brave work, as Carissa just mentioned. The people that have been willing to take the incremental steps to grow the VQ are the ones who are speaking on the big stages. They're the ones whose books are remaining on the bestseller list. They're the ones who are having the 7-figure businesses, 6 and 7-figure and plus businesses as thought leaders. And all of those markers, bestseller lists and big stages and money, are simply a reflection of impact. There's a reflection of impact. And so that is my wish for you. That is why I'm doing this series. It's why I'm gifting every single person a free ticket to the training on viral visibility at the end of the month. It's why we're going to do this work together. Because I truly don't want another day, week, month, year to go by for any of you, any of us, where we are not reaching the people we came here to serve. And just imagine for a moment that your favorite thought leader, okay? So everybody call someone to mind, someone whose book or podcast or talks or videos or live events has really, really made an impact in your life. Just call someone to mind right now. And imagine that that person had not become visible to you. They just said, yeah, it's too scary. It's too hard. I might fail. No one will care anyway. I'm not a celebrity. They just walked themselves back from the vision. They didn't write the book or the talk or make the video or lead the event that changed your life. And think about truly the hole that would have left in your path. Yeah. And that's why this is the question I asked myself. It's the question that has allowed, one step at a time, imperfectly, not like in some kind of, crazy, amazing, miraculous way, but just incrementally raising that VQ a little bit more every day. This is the exercise I take myself through, because otherwise I don't want to do it. It's too scary. The stakes feel too high. It's too much effort. It's all the things that we're going to break through in this series. All right. So we're going for it. I know some of you were maybe thinking about it. So I'm going to ask again, who is in to join this season of VQ, viral visibility, to your people authentically, powerfully, with integrity, with incredible grace, with incredible presence, with incredible content. And we're going to do it together. All right. So you've got your homework between now and next time. And we'll have the link to get your free ticket to the training. And we will have sometime in the next week your viral visibility roadmap. All right. I'm really, really excited to do this work with you all. It's so important. Okay. Recap on the homework. All right. We have a request from our studio audience, right? Recap on the homework. You're going to keep a list running through the week, just on your phones or wherever you like to keep a list of all the places you're currently visible in your area of expertise that you're wanting to grow. And for the super achievers, you're going to put numbers next to those. How many people on Facebook? How many people on an email list? How many people came to the speaking engagement, that you did? How many people are in the community group in which you serve? All right. And you're going to get your VQ, your visibility quotient, just your current one. And then we're going to put all these pieces of this gorgeous new archway together, and you're going to walk through it into the greatest impact and income that you've had so far. And you'll make the difference you came here to make. All right, you guys, I'm excited. I will see you next time. Have a phenomenal start to week, and let's be thinking about it. VQ, top priority. See you then. Bye.